things to the pub.
Back Monday from 6.
Jimmy Carpenter at breakfast.
BBC Radio Leicester.
Now we are going to be very, very shortly hearing from new artist Eden Langeveldt, right, just after this. Keep your Halloween songs. There you go, John Cicada, Just Another Day. Right, you're on with me, Andy P. You've got me until 6 this evening. Now, this next artist, Eden Langeveldt, right, is a young, talented singer-songwriter who draws her inspiration from brilliant artists like Tracy Chapman, Nora Jones, or her very own Zimbabwean homegirl, Rozalla, a.k.a. Rozalla Miller. Who's a brilliant artist, isn't she? She started singing at the age of 8 and she started writing songs since she was 10 years old. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Its imagination is extremely vivid and she loves telling stories through many different art forms. Eden has actually been telling BBC Radio Leicester's Kevin Ncube that she's a fan of my show. Well, thank you very much, Eden. She's also a fan of the Foxes.
Yeah, so I became a fan of the NDP's show through social media, and I just got to know more about BBC Leicester through like the internet and the soccer team and everything.
So you support Leicester City?
I'm actually a Man United fan, but I think I have my eye on Leicester City, yeah.
You sound pretty young. When did you sink your teeth into music? When did you start your musical journey and why?
I started writing songs when I was a really young kid, probably like 8 years old. And they were just like really basic, silly songs about like my dolls and my dogs and my brothers at home. But then I started to take it seriously like in my high school years. And I saw that I actually could turn my songs into like actual pieces of music that people could enjoy and relate to. So yeah, that's kind of where it started.
Eden Langeveldt is the name, but Eden Lang is the stage name. Are stage names important?
Yeah. I think it's important, especially when you have like a 10-letter surname like mine, like Langeveldt, and when people can't pronounce it, it's really important to just like make it, palatable for people. Yeah, there's also like a double consonant at the end, and people always mess that up, so it's just like cut that out.
Absolutely. How do you pronounce this double consonant? Now, you're the daughter of a famous comedian. Tell me more.
So my dad is Edgar Langeveldt, and he's a political satire comedian. Like he started out in 1999, like doing shows about Zimbabwe politics. Kind of got really famous, and he was even nominated for awards, and he won awards and stuff. Being exposed to the performance and like the entertainment industry, I think mostly through my dad.
It's in your genes.
Yeah, it's kind of in my genes. I couldn't escape it even if I wanted to.
Your drawing and painting.
Well, I think for me, like, I try to tell stories as much as possible through, like, any art form. When I do, like, have something on my heart or, like, something that's bothering me, it does help me to, like, tell my story through a painting or a drawing and just, like, capture it. Because I feel like it's like a snapshot of my soul. So in a sense, it
snapshot
does,
of your soul. I like that.
Yeah.
Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Jennifer Hudson, these are just a few of the greats who started off singing in church, just like you. Your biography says you started in the church. What do you think it is about starting out in the spirit?
Well, they do say, like, music is the language of the soul. So I think there is something to do with going to church and like coming into terms with the spiritual world and like your inner life and inner workings that releases something inside of you.
So you started singing at around 8 years old?
I did, yeah.
What have some of your challenges been, stumbling blocks, your struggles?
Well, I'm actually an introvert, which is like one of the biggest struggles that I've had, where I feel like I recharge a lot in my solitude and like when I'm alone. And one of the hardest things was like getting up in front of people and performing, or like reading out my songs and like poetry and stuff like that. It was like really hard for me because it was something so personal for me and something that I did in my bedroom, and even just like posting videos on YouTube, it kind of took me a very long time before I could do that. The way I overcame it was just like, I don't know, it was just like this inner feeling inside that these songs had some meaning and they could actually like, you know, impact other people's lives. And then I just said, you know, it's like something I just have to overcome and get over.
Absolutely. Introvert. I'm an introvert extrovert. Is that a new phrase to you? Because I think they exist. I'm an introvert.
You're an ambivert.
Oh, I didn't know that
that's so
phrase.
cool.
Ambivert.
I only know like 3 ambiverts.
Oh, so I'm the fourth one, you know.
Yes, you're the fourth one. Wow.
You mentioned YouTubing. In Africa, do you think YouTubers are the future globally?
I don't know about Africa because not many people have internet here, but I do think that in my generation, definitely like YouTube and all social media has the potential to like really reach a lot of people, and YouTube and like all the social media platforms can really help artists like me like get out there and people to have a voice, you know, in the world.
Okay, so who's your hero and why?
I really look up to artists like Nora Jones, Tracy Chapman, and even Rozalla Miller, who's like a local artist. And I just really like how they, you know, stay true to themselves, and they never like steer away from their identity as musicians. Yes, actually she does, and also because she's Zimbabwean, and I actually went to church with her son, so that was kind of cool too. So it was like, oh, I know you type thing.
Rozalla Miller. Oh, it's a small world.
Yeah, it is a small world, yeah. Okay, so I'm Eden Lang, and this is my song, I'll Be There.
When you're crippled by anxiety and fear, when the people all around you disappear, when the enemy's the only voice you hear, I'll be there. When your patience and your strength is wearing thin, when the only light you have is burning dim, when the only option you see is to give in, I'll be there. I'm the voice in the storm, can you hear me? I'm the fire burning warm, can you feel me? You don't have to see me to believe me, I'll be there. I'll be there. When you're threatened by the darts and flaming swords, when you feel like you're the center of the war, when you wish that you had never been born, I'll be there. I'm the voice in the storm, can you hear me? I'm the fire burning warm, can you feel me? You don't have to see me to believe me, I'll be there. I'll be there. When you find yourself in the eye of when you find yourself in the dark before the dawn. My peace is something the broken can't afford. I'll be there.
Beautiful. That was I'll Be There by Eden Lang. Now, Eden is a mixed-race folk singer in Africa. She's toured extensively, but feels Afrobeats is dominating the charts. So Kevin Ncube asked her if there is space for her genre in her motherland.
Actually, no, but I really do think that there's a huge market for it because we do see like one type of genre taking up space, like you mentioned, Afrobeats. I really do think that artists like myself need to start putting their stuff out there, especially in Africa, because there's so much talent that's hidden, and there's so much like different variety in African music that's not being heard. So I really do think that there's a huge gap in the market for it.
Just heard your song, I'll Be There. What inspired you to write that song?
One of the things that is a challenge in my life is anxiety. Like I mentioned, I'm an introvert, but I also have social anxiety and things like that. When I wrote this song, I was kind of writing it from the perspective of God or like a higher power just saying, I'll be there. Yeah, that's kind of where the inspiration of the whole song came from.
I'm going to ask you some fun questions. These are some fun, light-hearted questions. If you weren't a singer, you'd be?
I would be a vet.
A vet? Love animals?
Yes, I love animals, but I'm so terrible at science. It's so sad.
Before you walk into a recording session, what do you do?
I actually jump around and like run around and just like get my blood pumping.
A favorite show you performed at or a show you created is?
My favorite show is kind of simple. It's my first paying show at the Wild Geese Lodge here in Harare. And I was so nervous, but it went like so well, and it holds a special place in my heart.
Was that because it was your first pay show?
Yeah, it was like my first gig. So I was like,
She loves the money. She
I'm
loves the
famous.
money. Now, you're the daughter of Raquel Welsh.
Oh, so my mom is actually a bookkeeper. Like by profession, she does finance and accounting.
Well, you've just been in South Africa. Let the cat out of the bag. What was happening there?
Oh, so I went to Cape Town just for some recording sessions with a friend of mine who's also a musician, and I did an open mic at House of Machines, and that was such a joy. It was so nice.
So now, singing and gigging during COVID-19, how has that been?
In one word, I would say interesting. Because at first I thought I would really hate it, like being stuck at home. But I actually got so many more opportunities to collab with artists that I don't think I would have been able to collab with if everything was normal. So it was kind of bittersweet.
So this would be the information network superhighway. You'd be thanking having connections online.
For sure. Like so many new connections and collaborations opened up just because of being on lockdown.
The best thing about what you do as a singer is?
I get to have fun.
The first thing you do when you wake up is?
I'm going to be boring and say, check my phone.
And the last thing at night?
Check my phone.
3 people you'd love to have lunch with.
Ooh. Do they have to be living or dead?
Either or.
I would say Jimi Hendrix, Diana Ross, and Nelson Mandela.
Whoa. What's the
That
dream?
would be an interesting lunch.
That would be an interesting lunch, girlfriend. What's the dream? What's your next step in music?
I'm actually working on my first debut album, and I hope to be releasing it next year, early next year, like around March. And hopefully that'll open some like opportunities for more collaborations and gigs with local artists here as well.
So what's your mantra? What's your favorite quote?
The jack of all trades, master of none, is oftentimes better than the master of one.
I like that. So what are your socials?
You can find me on all the streaming platforms. That's iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music. It's just Eden Lang. And on social media, it's Eden Lang Music. And I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, YouTube as well, of course.
So there's BBC's Kevin Ncube in conversation with Zimbabwean singer and songwriter Eden Lang. Check out Eden Lang music on social media. And here is Eden's latest track. This is Glitter.
I find myself kneeling to pray, can't find the words to say. Pictures from my past erode my peace of mind. Feel like I can never leave mistakes behind. Now I can see that the lessons learned I touched and I was burned. Still I check the mirror only in review. Our glasses were never meant to be looked through. I know that you know everything. You always seem to know better than what I think I know. And I know that you know everything. You always seem to know better than. You always seem to know better than. So let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. Yeah, let it go. Released inside the man who blindly makes his plans, knowing that the future's not inside his hands. Our glasses were never meant to be looked through. I know that you know everything. You always seem to know better than what I think I know. Yeah, I know that you know everything. You always seem to know better than what I think I know, I know, I know. So let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. So let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Let it go. Scatter like glitter. Let it go. Let it scatter like glitter. Let it go, it's gonna be alright. Just look up at the stars of the sky. And I know it's gonna be alright. I see glitter when I look up at the sky. Let it go, it's gonna be alright. Just look up at the stars of the sky. And I know it's gonna be alright. I see glitter when I look up at the sky. So let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Scatter like glitter. So let it go.
Beautiful song, beautiful voice. Yeah, really nice. Eden Lang music on social media. That was Glitter. Before that, earlier on, you heard her tune, I'll Be There. By the way, get your songs in for the final track of the day. We're going for a Halloween theme.